by saying I am not talking about my vagina shitting my dick sex.
You're breaking the streak, man.
Sorry. I'm going to tell you guys a story about a time in my life when I, shocking, I'm an actor, had no money and had to figure out what I was going to do on the side to make money but still be available for auditions and working and stuff. So I thought, what am I going to do that's going to be really lucrative, really easy to get into, and really flexible? I thought, I'm going to learn how to be a leather worker. Very logical. So I get on the internet. This is back in 2011. It felt like forums were just becoming a thing. I don't know. The forum I was on felt very primitive. And I go through all these guys who are like the southern United States. I live up in Canada, and I found this guy named Jesse Lee Cantrell, who was looking for an apprentice to learn how to make 18th century boots for reenactors. So you guys we're at Dragon Con. Everybody knows if you're gonna buy a pair of boots for a costume, you want them to be super authentic. So this guy was located in Hamilton, Ontario. For those of you who don't know where that is a place in Ontario affectionately known as the armpit of Ontario. But it's also 20 minutes from my parents' house. So I thought, this is great. I'm gonna leave Toronto, stay with my parents overnight, and I can apprentice with this guy. I'll learn how to make boots, and this will be my side job. It's very logical. So I go and I roll up to this beautiful warehouse. So in the 50s, boat builders came over from Poland and they built this gorgeous warehouse in Hamilton. And I meet Jesse Lee Cantrell, and there's a few things you need to know about Jesse Lee so I can paint this picture. Jesse Lee is a free man on the land, which means he holds no passport, obeys no laws, and kind of just floats from the States to Canada. I don't know how he got there. He has a cat who he has named after his previous bootmaking master. He has an associate named Steve, and Steve is a man who looks a lot like Jesus. He wears jeans and no underwear ever, so there's just constant butt crack. Jesse Lee does not drink water because he says it upsets his stomach, so he only drinks beer. And he constantly chews sucks on chewing tobacco. So just to paint you a picture of the man I was going to meet in a warehouse in the armpit of Ontario by myself at 21 years old to learn to be a leather bootmaker. So I go in this beautiful building, and I'm amazed at this building. So in the bottom there's his leather shop, and in the top it's a like a high school gymnasium with beautiful wood floors and the stage at the end. And so this was a community center. And up on the stage, there's a recording studio. So Steve, the man who doesn't wear underwear, he runs the recording studio up top, and Jesse Lee runs the bootmaking shop down below. And I'm like, guys, how did you get this beautiful building? And they say, you know, everything in Hamilton, real estate-wise, is pretty much free right now. So they paid like 60 grand for this huge, beautiful building. Anyways, that's a side note to the story that we'll get back to later. So I buckled down with Jesse Lee, and for 2 months I go there a couple times a week, and I learned how to make 18th century boots. And I'm really good at it. And I kind of have this weird, unexplained knack for it. And so a few months go by, and Jesse confides to me one day that he's really impressed with me, and he gets really serious, and says, you know, Kat, I would really like to train you full-time. I'd like you to take over my shop. When I either don't want to do this anymore or I die. This is a man I've known for 2 months, and so that means you get all the gear, you get the Cantrell name, you can make boots for reenactors, and you can have the building, all the stuff. So I'm a little overwhelmed by the prospect because I want to do this as my side job to support my acting. And I go and I'm like, I'm gonna think about it. It's very generous of you. And 3 days later, I booked my first acting job, and it took me away from the boot shop for about a month. And when I came back, I had to kind of tell him that I wasn't really interested in being a boot builder. And he was really upset by that, obviously. And we kind of fell out and lost touch. I thought, what am I gonna tell for this story about rolling the dice and taking chances? It's all about, like, you know, you come to these forks in your life of what are you gonna do? Was I gonna be a bootmaker, or was I gonna keep on acting? And I think retrospectively, here I am at Dragon Con with all you lovely folk. I think from my heart, I definitely made the right choice. But I want to tell the story. I thought, I kind of rolled the dice. So I called up a real estate agent friend of mine recently. The thing I haven't told you is that Hamilton is the fastest growing real estate in Canada right now. The building that I would have inherited is currently valued at $4.3 million. And that is my story of rolling the dice.
There are literally 3 tweets of